Good morning and welcome to a video today. And I'm trying out this stand that my husband bought at the beginning of the year. And so hopefully it goes well. It won't jiggle around too much. But today we're going to take these strawberries that's been marinated in syrup that I used for our version of a strawberry shortcake, which I talked about in a previous video, made with a donut. But what I'm going to do is, because it's been in here for about 2 or 3 days, and before it turns into strawberry wine, starts to ferment, I'm going to add it to ice cubes trays or ice tray and make ice cubes with it to add to lemonades. So basically all this is just cut up strawberries, um, sugar, and lemon juice, and it makes its own syrup, as you can see. And then let me just scoot that. See if I can get this in here. And now I'm just going to add it to the ice trays. No particular rhyme or reason, just so it doesn't go bad. And like I said, I should taste of it to make sure, like I said, that it hasn't turned into, let me get another spoon because I'm not going to dip the spoon that I'm using to add to the ice trays to contaminate it. So be right back. Oh, that's still good. That is so good. And the cool thing about making your own strawberry syrup, I guess you would call this. You know, when you sometimes go out, if you ever go out and buy a strawberry shortcake, it's got that really bright red color to it. Well, that's because of food coloring. And this is a natural, which I'll pour some of the syrup, which you should be able to see it. The natural color of the strawberries, as you can see. See if I can get a little, oh yeah. Okay. It's red, but it's not neon red. It's like a blush color. That's because there's no additives to it other than the strawberries, sugar, and lemon juice. Now there's a little gnat flying around here, and if you see me showing him away, he must perish sometime today. But I have these cool things I saw on a TikTok a few years back, and you plug them into the wall and they really eliminate gnats, which is awesome. Any kind of flying insect, but gnats is what we got it for. And it works out great because it's like a little sticky back, and it has a light, a blue light, and it attracts them to it. And then you just change out the little sticky pad, and it's very decorative looking too. So, but anyway, the reason why there's an uptick in these little gnats is because we're utilizing a lot of produce, because it's the season, it's June, a lot of produce from the market and from our garden, and from, you know, the grocery store. And we have a scrap bin that we put the scraps in. And since it's been heavily fruited lately, I think, you know, it's attracted them in, which what I do is this one little gnat, I will find him and get rid of him today, and then check the trap to make sure the plug-ins have not filled. If so, we'll change it out. But yeah, see, I'm just filling these ice trays with this. And like I said, I will use this in drinks, like a green tea, maybe. Definitely lemonade. And what I would do is I would just use a, if I didn't want to do fresh lemonade, I would do a sugar-free lemonade, and then use this because it's a sugar syrup in the place of, adding and separate. And then not only will it cool it as it melts down, it'll also sweeten it. And then that way, this will not go to waste because I've had my fair share of strawberry shortcakes. And see, that one might just be juice. Hold on, let me see if I can get some strawberries out. Here we go. So it's not just juice in that one. Now this ice tray, because it's going to expand. And what I think I'm going to do is move this one out the way and grab another ice tray and just put the remainder syrup in there. Hold on 1 minute. There's two little... I like these silicone ones because if you let it sit on the counter for a minute and you just... If you just do it like this, it's got like a little... You barely have to press it and it lifts it up to where... Because I can't crack, a typical ice tray. And that way it's an easy release of your ice without having to use a lot of hand manipulation, which comes in handy if you have any kind of mobility issues or, hand issues. Then it makes it easier. And what I think I'm going to do, because the other is just syrup. And you could do this with any vegetable, yeah. Well, you could, but which I'll talk about here in a minute, because we've done that. You could do this with any fruit, especially if you're getting them in from your garden. Now, these strawberries came from the store, but we do have strawberries growing in a container garden outside a raised flower bed or a raised garden bed. And when they come in abundance, I will do some strawberry syrups like we're doing now. And when the blueberries come in, we can make some blueberry ones. And then when our black raspberries, which I don't think I did a video on, I think I showed the bush, but in the community tab, I did put a picture of our blueberries and our blackberries. I know I did the black raspberries. I keep calling them black berries, but they're black raspberries because it's the first time. Oh, you saw that cut off. I think my little light, let me cut the other light on. The battery went out in that, so I know that it must be charged. As you see, I'm just trying to make it a little bit even so that one I have a little bit more in it. You can also do this with, say if you got abundance, like I have cilantro, get ready to grow outside. Our parsley, I think I'm gonna call her Priscilla. She's just absolutely beautiful. She's huge. And what I'm gonna do with her is make olive oil. You could take olive oil and put it in a food processor. Your olive oil, whether you're doing basil, whether you're doing thyme, oregano, dill, whatever. Put that in there. Mix it up real good in your food processor, little mini chopper. And then add that to your ice cube tray. Freeze it. And then when they freeze, pop them in a Ziploc bag. And that way when you are making, like, say, stir fries or pasta dishes, or want to defrost some to make a herb dressing, you just pop out a cube, either let it defrost or add it to your cooking, your stir fry, whatever that you're doing. And then that way you can preserve your herbs before they all start to go to seed. And then that way, like I still have, which I bought from the store, but I still have garlic. I bought a big huge thing of garlic, and my husband and I went ahead and processed it that way, put it in ice cube trays, popped them in the freezer, and that was back in the fall. And we still have some in the freezer. And what we do is when we go to make, stir fries or anything that calls for garlic and oil, just pop one in there. Hold on, I'm going to get these over to the refrigerator, and we'll be right back. Okay, and while I was in there, I went ahead and grabbed it so I can show you. Here is the, let me turn it this way so you can see it. Oh, this was done on 4/13/22, garlic with olive oil, about 2 teaspoons each. So it wasn't even a fall. That was back in April, so that's been over a year ago. And this is what we have left. And they were just in little circles. These were circle ice cube trays. And I gotta show you this one. See if I can get it to, oh, that is cold. Hand doesn't like that. That one was done in a little skull and crossbone mold that we have. So I ran out of the little circle one, so my husband and I just put it in that. It still freezes the same. So, ooh, that smells like garlic. So when we need garlic, we'll pop one of those. And this bag was completely full. I just got to put it up top to make sure that it doesn't contaminate anything else. Oh yeah, that's real garlicky. So I'll put that over to the side away from which let me show you this. Another one here that we did, which is a really cool idea. Now, we make our own Mexican cornbread. And, of course, it's a buttermilk-based cornbread. And I don't know if y'all all remember, you used to be able to buy the little, I guess, like little pints of buttermilk. Now they're in a half gallon of buttermilk. And I don't know, there's 3 of us here. There's no way we will get through that much buttermilk in that short of time before it goes bad. So, because we used to just, back in the day when I was young and dumb, I would just, use it. And then if we didn't use it all up, it got poured down the sink. Now what we do is we'll take an ice cube tray, the same ones that we did with the strawberry syrup, and we will freeze these. And then what we do is my husband and I will put it in a measuring cup and see what a cup equals to. And then you pour that into your ice cube tray to see what equals to a cup. So you see 7 cubes is equal to 1 cup. If you need a half a cup, then what is that? 3.5 will equal to a half a cup, and so on and so on. And then when we need to use it, because our cornbread calls for a cup, we'll take out 7 cubes, put it in the refrigerator, or if we're getting ready to do it that day, we'll just set it on the counter, let it defrost down, whisk it up, and then use it just as the recipe calls. So that's another tip. And this was full too, which it still is pretty much, because we've only made that a couple of times. So that's another helpful hint to save. So let's throw that back in. Be right back. Okay, the last thing I'm going to show you on this kind of turned into how to freeze something to a couple of tips. But here is, as I was putting those back in there, I found the last 2 items of or cubes of pineapple juice. Now what we did is we buy the 100% juice, which I have to show you our absolutely favorite. This right here, that's heavy, so let me put it down. As you can see, I write the date codes on it so that way we know when to use it before it expires, when it's on the shelf, so make sure that it gets rotated out. But this is our absolutely favorite. The pineapple is so sweet, it's so delicious in this. But if we don't eat it all, we will freeze the pineapple chunks, which we've already eaten the pineapple chunks. but the juice as well, because as you can see, that's 100% pineapple juice. So instead of wasting that, what we will do is, again, put it into ice cube trays. Now this was from January of this year, and then we'll freeze it. As you can see is how it's like that. And I have some tea, some green tea. And what I'm gonna do is, oh, that's good. I just drank that down some. Now that is not sweet yet, so what I'm going to do is just add those last two pineapple chunks in there. Now I don't know how pineapple, I'm going to be honest with you, I don't know how this pineapple green tea is going to taste, but it's not going to go to waste. We're going to go ahead and use up those last two. And just because the person that I am, and it only had pineapple juice in it, I'm going to rinse that bag out, put it over here on my little stand to dry, and then, because this will wash right off. If it doesn't, I'll just mark through it, and then if I freeze another juice or some kind of fruit in it, I'll just reuse this bag and put it right back in there. Well, thanks for watching, and I hope you enjoy these tips on how to store your items in the freezer to keep it from going to waste. And also, this will help you save a little money in the end to use for something else. And even if you're like, I'm well off, I don't need to save any money, I'm good. It doesn't hurt to use that money. Like I tell my husband, use that money for something else, like some kind of entertainment, or say towards a stand that you need to buy to do some videos with, or some kind of equipment that you might need for yourself or for personal use, or put it in towards your holiday fund or your vacation fund. Don't throw your money in the trash by letting food expire that you can use at a later time. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video, and see you in the next one.